Yeah, Joseph.
No kwasebe wo say afi adwuma coach Abubakar Watara ya mahasa no. Enso ni saa.
Yeah, asem.
Na hasa sem ne kana koye kana. The other dynamic catch of say most of the media men I decided so much jaka because I want too many. Now either you are tagged as an opposition on perhaps.
Yes.
And now so what's now be can say what can the same things are obi amfantino abemu bunu ajai. And I catch us yen yaka because ye jaka. Now the professionalism conduct the idea you are na buja panyi ya drop it. Yen drop it. Ya beko so aka. One day the people who think that yempe team na asem no may come to understand and appreciate
Yeah.
One moment in position of authority one day ebeka say ensemi ana omo kan say ya enkebe boy. So we are talking about the Continental Club Masters glorious Accra Hasselfolk.
Yes, sir.
The tiene say Abubakar Watara on one share season yase. And what boss season no ade adu ba bia adu no ade ama Hasselfolk. For the purposes of this discussion,
Yes.
sometimes I'll use 28 games, other times I'll use 29.
Okay.
And he has, after 29 games, taking into consideration or take cognizance of the fact that Omoni Swatchaman game, away game now, as it has, and Kobana Amazona Kahun, and 29. Hasselfolk, Abzapani,
Yes, sir.
one more hour 45 points. And we did the discussion on the total number of points your battle for which is 87 so far. Hasselfolk equal 45 from possible 87. Abuja has 51.7% of the available points and Omafa.
We drop 42 points.
Hasselfolk a drop it points Mako 42 and Wafa 45.
Wow.
The difference between the number of points dropped and the number of points gained. Three
game.
3 games. 3 points. And so 3 points, you know. So we can do a Kotoko Has would have picked 45 from possible 90.
Wow.
Meaning, sir, we're dropping half of the points
50%.
We're battle for. Should Kotoko beat us, folk?
Yes.
It will be 45 from 90. And that will be 50% of points gained, 50% of points dropped. And yeah, as a papa. And now, me catch us up with Japan, you know, cause some so when say team bia, we as bia. No matter how weak as a team they always have some positives. Team bia was as it should be anuntina. Offer Baseke Holy Stars or money Rebar in Koboboa. Holy Stars being a chance.
Yes.
Offer the worst team in our league. So I'm going to share the best team in Europe today, which arguably will be Barcelona. Team will be a chance. It's kind of football because you always also have something. Now, Abusapani in totality this season, Hasselfolk abo Yadika said 29 games, but about 28. But almost 29 games and 1 points any club. But games about 28. And the reason I emphasize on Saturday and say about number of goals conceded, number of goals scored now. If the Pennsylvania 29 has the rate resobete. So I 29 now. Now for goals like I saw Machana, which is 22 goals no Machana per ebeti rate also. And when we are talking about in totality, the Challenger has 29 games. 25 goals scored, but in actual fact, about 22. 17 goals conceded, 45 points gained. Has Edda seized on the league log.
On one how many goals?
Has actually 22 goals, but or 25 goals.
Wow.
Has actually 22 goals in 28 games.
You're going to say 22 goals in 28.
In 28, don't even find 29.
0.78 per goal per game.
Per game. So they are not averaging a goal per game. And that is the story of the Continental Club Masters.
Yes, sir.
Over number of goals scored now, it is not a positive news. Enfama Hasselfolk. Over number of goals conceded, which is 17 now, and also say positives, but at least the good news is so consider 17 in 28 games and yeah, your rate of concession and also your game be on your show.
Okay.
And so that is a good news for Hartlepool.
Yeah, yes.
If you do the calculation on data, has about 28 games and we consider 17. So clearly, any game beer and a has a consider go. 0.6. Hartlepool 0.6. 80 football match biano. You have about 2 games. About 2 games in a show back because there's 0.6. And so that is the first strength of Accra Hartlepool.
Okay.
That in terms of concession, consider goals be.
I said defensively, Hartlepool.
Defensively, Hartlepool better. And if you do the comparative analysis, because they are playing Asante Kotoko, you always want to compare with their Kotoko at the end. In terms of Kotoko defense, Kotoko are considered 21 goals. Has are considered 17. So clearly, Hearts of Oak in terms of defending are better than Asante Kotoko. Nice based on what paper
nice one.
Makacho said Kotoko. The other say in the last 6 games as a 7er, or in 5 games, about consider about 7 goals. The team that considered 2 goals in 9 games, all of a sudden, on a Bechem 1-1, on a Pando out of Lions 1-1. That's what consider me. Consider 3 8 year. Accra Lions now acquire 5. Consider 2 Nations. Nations now acquire 7. And we consider 7 in about 5 games. It's a Kotoko defense. Yeah. So that's the story of Kotoko. So Hartlepool have a better defense. Now Hartlepool better defense. It is marshaled around the captain of the team and Blasters goalkeeper Benjamin Asare. Or you so instrumental to Accra Hartlepool. Games has and keep clean sheet in them. We're keeping more clean sheets than Yashano. But once I consider your games more, either he was with the Black Galaxies or he was with the Black Stars. That is Hartlepool. Almost strength of the penny. Yedika Bosono. I had the fact that almost a defense, a strength.
Sure.
It is comparative analysis. Ebia Buzapenny, Senka, Hartlepool, any nations are. Nations are considered only 15. So has nations are a country because it has defense near better.
Yeah.
But Kotoko considered 21, has a considered 17. 5 about how many goals? 4 goals in a demo. Emma has it a better. A chance and take Kotoko.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The maintain your maybe as Emma has a something canapa.
Anything.
Season is as now Theophilus Collinson pretty as number 6. It provided a lot of shield at the Hartlepool backline.
Okay.
Today, Theophilus Collins doesn't start. And Hearts are not keeping the clean sheet again. Why is not starting Menjaze? Season is shot,
On your injured.
Theophilus Debbie.
On your suspended.
Or a part of match day squad in the BR.
Any other?
And o check it. A branch did it at Yaya Dramani. On the season as right back. And Ampeduka is a coach. I say Ampeduka disrespected into us depending on TV.
Yeah.
Then Hartlepool 3 players, captains Remienza. And the boy in coach fee and then Kokasa Kopacha man. At the Chinya or Bayano West at Jampedu there. Unimbonobo. He has been playing.
Yeah.
Left side, Emmanuel Mankwa. Abu be this season. Central defense has Abu be Bedro down him there. And now after the last round of matches, and I branch be too much as a Pepe. Yabo 29 games. Still has a full coach only first 11. Abujanim say, met me my heart to folk team sheet by 10 and says some consistency.
Wow.
And when you are building a team, wow. And actually, I couldn't do Adam. She's in the chassis, no movie. She said, couldn't do Adam. In fact, said, oh, I'm the coach now. I am a crater. First name of a choice. No, the Kevin says, be. And I say, someone who first started the season. It do baby Michael, who are men's a boy. And in fact, a woman's a boy 2 games, which was he even scored. I was thinking, say, now was 70 position. Oh, we won't talk about no we call, no we have no we call, no we have no we call. The inconsistencies at Hartlepool beyond my imagination.
Wow.
Now it is not only the defensive unit, no. In fact, this season, player why consistent our Hearts of Folk. I have branches and the Hussein Muhammad, no. One of pan player on the why consistent our Hearts of Folk team in bar.
Wow.
The Akane was a penny, we call, no, we are bar, but Hussein, you say Jesse Noma saying, Jesse Noma 14. He's been extremely consistent in the Hearts of Folk team.
Okay.
I was a penny over upfronter. The last where Hearts of Folk versus team Benny. Hearts the one.
Adriana Stars. The
eti check omo ball ewo upfront no. Obo Abante Asamoah Boateng started. Then Obo Theophilus no Obo Setosei a boy. I'm Japan.
Mohammed.
We Hussein a midfielder. Game we Obo Emmanuel Mankwa a defender. Obo Abante did Mauli Wayo, of course, as an offensive midfielder.
Yeah.
He has more attackers. Give me the next background by no na mention those attackers of your boy. We are Obo Kobna Boateng, Obo Stephen Appiah. We have versus Karela, right? It is Stephen Appiah Shankiki, Kobna Boateng, Mauli Wayo, Setosei. We cry the more striker be and strikers no Obieno was starting here. Enti Hearts of Folk all departments of Japan. Unya baby all those Sabesi Ubwaka say has a consistent with this player or this position, with the exception of the goalkeeper. Now, anytime a goalkeeper is available, Biano, one of the posts, which is Benjamin Asare. And it makes the Hearts of Folk team extremely difficult to analyze. Very difficult to Japan.
Wow.
The Biamu was also anti next game, no one able. Say midfield, no, or ball, Kwesi Asma. No, a ball, Setosei. Then Rafael Amponsa
Asamoah Boateng nom
obo Rafael Amponsa na ebi wo affront Asamoah Boateng bebo Stephen Appiah Shankiki bebo Kobna Boateng bebo say kwa de has main striker ever start season or main striker no sa young boy no Hamza Isa you don't even see him in the games but season never chance no ye ka Kotoko number 9 we Adriana number 9 we Chelsea number 9 we number 9 you know nanka number 9 has a number 9 who say because Accra ni Ede Hamza the first season abuzabanyi from Aroras Akwadan provided about 14 goals and Akwadan the first season was 14 there unim say the following season or mature into more figures or more numbers you don't get it like that not numbers na dwindle not figures na so 80 abuzabanyi
yes sir.
Nanka one unit is very strong. The man has a midfield. Nebra, I'm gonna Setosei become.
Yeah.
Setosei very skillful. Schoolboy, any ball no ball.
Nade.
The only answer will be provided shield. I want a chairman.
Yes.
Because when player and who dear, Olusuba will be pass abeji diamond.
I attack.
Me no share Setosei first game Obama has a folk. Oh, studio ya na nieti. And now we say why are they not getting the first balls to him? Because anytime a ball member will be creative.
Yeah.
Oh, hold the ball, be another ball, a movie, who create chance. But you don't see the player feeding the ball to the foot of Setosei. I don't see the style of player has for an air ball. It has been a season of Japan. If you take players operating from the wings for Hearts of Folk, the numbers are not there. Share offer Ghana Premier League goalkeeper. Offer Ghana Premier League goalkeeper. Yes, goalkeeper chart. Baby, the first House of Folk player. House of Folk player, the Dean, a woman was Ropano. I am Mauli Wayo.
What does he?
Mauli Wayo, 14th position, 5 goals. 14th position, 5 goals.
Wow.
And now, I catch us, combine it. Asante Kotoko top 2 now. A branch of the Dean at the Kwampoku. Eba ye Kwame abeshe 7.
Yes.
Kwampoku ewo 7. Na ufa we so de ne kan wa abetamwa 8 ne kan wa. Na so mum yenu egma double figures of 15. But if you pick the Hearts of Folk team, first player at Hearts of Folk who draw goal king or Hearts of Folk or the lead no. Mauli Wayo. and Mauli has 5 goals. Season we at the Ama Accra Hasselhoek in the league. Then Hamza Issa has 4. So the top 2 at Hasselhoek,
they need double figures.
Almost combined 11. 9. It is still under the double figures. 9. And I got top 2 no. Amount 15 goals, 7 and 8, and then higher 5 and 4. So obviously the attack of Hasselhoek is not their strongest unit.
And yeah,
the midfield, my assist, league anymore. It is not. Unfortunately, one player, Nankoye influential power or added goals and numbers. I couldn't did Ahmed Ramsey now. Or this Missing season here over. Ontimi Emobi. So the defense, no.
And look how Kotoko.
Yes, our comparative analysis. Has a very strong defense. Omujim at the Amomo. Then, over midfield now, because of the constant changes, over the attacker, the constant changes, and in the fact that the numbers are not there. And Tiafi strikers has a folk Tony as a mobile every more from Nations. Nations as a mobile team, more 11 goals last season. 11 goals last season.
Yeah.
Mene Kabiru Trasi analysis I say if Phobia was 11 ba, Hamza ma 14. Now what the Stephen Apia Shankiki last season was 7. Kwabena Boateng Emma 8 goals to Lego. Yakekabo Benesa has enya attackers abudapanyi together omo combine numbers no. Over 60 goals in 2 expectations. Hasselhoek ebet mama goals no. The whole season 22 goals in 28 games for Accra Hasselhoek. Clearly, this is not the standard of the Phobian family. This is not the standard of the Phobian tree. You expect has to do better.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the coach at the helm of affairs are comfortable. Surprisingly, the supporters have grown to accept the fact that complaining go see baby. Yeah, can so no ade na nkase enim say oko kan ayalaja can be take a decision. The one better be a final. And everybody seems to have abandoned Hasselhoek say but this is not the standard. Last season, number of goals has share compared to points no munya no. Yemi we atrans e complain say na enya de papa. Number of goals and the number of games of my boy. This season we are on the same path where the Continental Club Masters games are on abo compared to the goals are on mashe. Last season your ball league in the year has full position on the league law. Now a 14th. Has about 34 games, actually 35 goals. Yeah, near say just 1 goal per more than the number of games on boy. This season they are not averaging a goal per game. Last season there, out of the 34 games played, almost 35 goals. I feel the other day 22 goals in 28 games.
Wow.
The story is not good, and the strength of Hasselhoek, Ubusamia, it's no defense also because in terms of the comparative analysis, Kotoko considered 21 goals, has a considered 17 goals. So their defense is the strongest unit of the club in terms of scoring, in terms of assisting, in terms of creating. Hasselhoek and match numbers.
Pepe Suarez. Enra, what the Kotoko say and watch a